What's happening, HC Nation? Hey, Zach Edwards here for a Stump the Creator. That's right, we're bringing it back. It's been a long time. It's been about, what, 3 years, maybe 4 years, around the time of COVID. Actually, I think it was around my surgery. I don't know if you remember those days, 4 years back or so. I went through some major surgery. And during that time, I was doing Stump the Creator, which means if you could stump me at one of the questions about the game, I would give you a shout out. And a prize, a thank you prize. Now, if you could actually come close to it, I would give you a shout out and give you something special. But I haven't had it. I think I dished out probably like 2 or 3 stumps that I've had. Hopefully, I don't get another one that's based on the one that we had before. If that did happen, I probably figured out an answer to it. But we've got some new ones coming in. We've got like probably a dozen emails now that have finally come in, and we want to share this with you. We want to get this out and started so that when you come up with a question, you think you can stump me, you give it a chance. Because we would love to see if you could stump me. We would love to see what you think about the game and how it plays. So, with Historical Conquest, let's go into this. So, here are the rules. You find a stump, you email me. I can't look at it. You put in the title, Stump the Creator. If you don't, I'm going to look at the email, sorry. I'm going to answer it there. I'm going to send it back. Put in the subject line, Stump the Creator. I will not look at the email until I pull it up for this contest. So, do that. If you have the chance and you have the image of the card, please put that in there. Otherwise, it's going to take me a second to find it because, again, I'm not preparing for these. This is totally live, totally raw. And we're going to see how much I know about my own game. Now, if you ask me open-ended questions, such as, which card does this? I'm like, I have over 1,000 cards now. There's no way I could tell you which card does this one thing. But if you have to give it on the rules, and I should have specified that when I put out some information about Stump the Creator. But this will spur more conversation because I want you to come up with those. If I can't come up with, say if someone asks that, I'm going to still read on here, and I'm still going to thank the person that gave it to me. But at the same time, I'm also going to put it out there for you to decide, for you to help me answer that question. It won't be a stump because I cannot tell you because for one thing, I'm getting old. I'm 42 years old, so I'm getting old. But, I mean, that's not that old. I just can't remember every card considering I have over 1,000 cards now. So let's go into it. No more further ado. Let's go into it. Let's try the first Stump the Creator. This stump is brought to you by, his name is Gabe. So Gabe, thank you for this question. He writes, the Olmec Warriors ability states, if an opponent attacks your land, this army will hold back their forces for 1 round. Okay? In that 1 round, in that one land, sorry, 1 round in that one land, okay? No negative effects happen to either player. Oh, okay. But there is a constant ability, so how could someone ever attack their land? Does that make their land invincible? Good question. Okay, so let's go over this whole thing. And it might be a misprint, of which if it is, it's not a stump, it's a misprint. You may get an honorable mention, you may get a thank you. But we will have it fixed afterwards because, again, it might have been an error on the card. Okay, the abilities. If an opponent attacks your land, that's a 1 time, this army will hold back their forces for 1 round in that one land. No negative effects happen to either player for 1 round. So ultimately, here's how you can think of it. Whenever you have a card that's basically saying 1 time, and it says a constant, most likely it's an error. And you can email me about that asking me. But yes, the Olmecs are an error. It's supposed to be an instant 1 time. Not even a hold. It's an instant. Oh, no, sorry. No, this is a hold 1 time. That's right. So those should be hold 1 time. And that's a great point. So Gabe, I'm going to give you an honorable mention. And I'm also going to send you something as a thank you. So let's see. I'm going to write this down. The Olmecs should be a hold one time. If you guys show me errors in the game, there's a good chance you're going to get a thank you, something as a thank you back to you. So let's go forward. Okay, so that is the end of his question. That was a short one, and it was an error. So I'm not going to, it wasn't a stump. It's not a possibility of stump. So let's go to the next one and see what we can find. This one was sent by Cole. So Cole, thank you so much for sending this. Gabe also, thank you so much for sending it. This one says, can the lost colonies of Roanoke be stopped by the Puquios? Are abilities of the characters that the Knights Hospitallers save get used again? Okay, so let me double check that all these words are right, or all these cards are right. So 1 second, let me pause this. Again, I'm not going to look ahead. I'm promising I'm not looking ahead. I'm pausing it so I can go bring up the cards that will be in this. So 1 second. Okay, I'm back and I got the cards. So again, let's go over this. Can the lost colony of Roanoke be stopped by the Puquios? So lost colony of Roanoke. Interrupt. Select one opponent's land. All that land's cards are discarded, and that player loses 100 morale for every card discarded. Okay, so all the land's cards are discarded, and that player loses 100 morale per. Okay, that's understandable. And let's go to the Puquios. Now, if you don't know what the Puquios is an old irrigation system that was created by the Incas. Yeah, in Peru. This one says, interrupt. Stop the effects of any natural disaster event played against you. Now, I get where he's saying, and this is historical, so I like this. I really like this, Cole. Great job. Okay, so let's go over what these actually mean. So, Lost Colony of Roanoke. What was the Lost Colony of Roanoke? In 1587, there was a colony of people that came over from England. So it says English colony, and set up shop. It had 115 people living in this. At that point, Captain John White, returns to England and comes back, and they're gone. The only thing that's left is, no, it's not actually Krakatoan. This is actually, the initials were actually CRO. Now, because that's what we expect that they were saying, that's why my artist put in Krakatoan, but truthfully, it was not. It was not a full inscription. There we go. So, carved into the tree. Now, here's the question. Was this a natural disaster? Well, if they carved out the tree, put in those words as a, hey, we're leaving, it wasn't natural. If they were slaughtered by Native Americans, not natural. If you're talking about the people that were in the colony during a winter and suffered a really harsh winter and died, those would be natural cause. That would be a natural disaster. But there's no telling that that was actually part of the natural disaster. So I would say, me personally, this was not a natural disaster, because the colony was not destroyed. It was not burned to the ground. It was not any of these things. It was not burned to the ground, but that could have easily been Native American. It wasn't blown down. It wasn't hit by anything. The bodies weren't there. Now, that's a big indicator. If it was a natural disaster, the bodies would have been everywhere. What happened to these people? No one knows. Really? But natural disaster, I wouldn't say so, because it's not natural. They left. The bodies weren't there, unless every body was picked up and moved out. They didn't even find mass graves. None of it. They were picked up, or they picked up their stuff and left. But where they went, nobody knows. I'm just going to shrug my shoulders and say, I just don't know. Don't know. I don't know. But I'm not being stumped, because as per the question, can this be stopped by the Puquios? Puquios is not it does not stop anything except for natural disasters. Again, let's go back to it. Puquios, stop the effects of any natural disaster event played against you. Not a natural disaster. Okay, now going to the second part of that question. He then asks, are abilities of the characters that the Knights Hospitaller saved get used again? Now, this is a great question. This has come up multiple times for us. So the abilities, say interrupt, the Knights Hospitaller treat the injuries of up to 2 characters, saving them from the discard pile. Remember, the abilities only come when you first pull them from the deck, or if you bring them back from the discard pile. If they don't make it to the discard pile, you don't get to claim them. So no abilities come from the Hospital. You just get to save that person from going to the discard pile. And you might say, well, why would I want to save them? Well, okay, 2 things. 1, they might have strength. They might have strength to keep your place safe. 2, they might also be what we call fodder, like cannon fodder, which means something for it to aim and take out, but it's not going to affect the whole war, the whole battle. So if someone's attacking you, you have 3 people in that land. They take out the first one because in the first attack. The second attack, they take out the second person. You still have 3. You had 3 people there. You now still have 1 person, and you get to restock when it comes back to your turn. So very important. So the Hospitaller themselves do not restore abilities. It has to go into the discard pile and then get drawn for the discard pile. These guys actually save it from the discard pile. I think it's Madame Curie. Madame Curie? I think it's Madame Curie, who actually brings someone back from the discard pile. That would be where you're able to use the abilities again. I hope that helped. Cole and Gabe, thank you so much. Gabe, you will be given an honorable mention gift. Cole, not for this one, but I know you have a few other questions coming up. So stay tuned, everyone. This will be posted every Friday. So we're going to post it on Friday because we want you to see it. We don't have a podcast. We don't have a video. We have this now. Stump the Creator, ready for you. Until I get some questions about the curriculum, about the things you're learning. I would love to tell you, but I can't unless I know what your questions are. So send me a stump. Send me a question to be answered for the curriculum. I would love to answer them and put them on Fridays so that you have something. So thanks so much. We'll talk to you next time. Take care, guys. Bye. Oh, and it will be this Friday. Cole, I know you're thinking this. I know you're asking this question. It is this Friday. The next one will be posted. This is posting Monday. That one will be posted next Friday. So a week from today. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will catch you next time. Take care, everyone. Bye. If you have any comments or questions, add them to the comments below. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow, actually. Take care. Bye.